Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
The original intention of the film was just for my personal use, but I thought with it being such a unique thing that I'd like to offer it to anybody who wants to see it. Things like that. And it's just a unique film of him.
He says, I beat you. He says, they say we came in under the dead heat. He says, that's not true because I beat you. And the American said, well, he says, if you like to think so, he says, but I know the real story. He says, I know I clearly won that one. See?
Come get some. The Madness Comic Network and Comic Related Madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. What's up, Laurie?
Good morning, everybody. It is I, Laurie Calcaterra, sick as a dog. But I'm here, and I wanted to be here because today is an important day. It is the 50th show. And that's amazing, guys, that we are here, and it's the 50th show.
The 50th Morning Brew. We've done it for almost a freaking year now. Almost. And I am honored that you took the show when I offered it to you. You've done a great job. And you've got people that like to watch your show. They tune in every week. You know, I mean, that's what we like, right? Oh, man. Something in the eye.
Oh.
That's going to be annoying for the next 2 hours. Okay. I'll be in there with the eye cup in a couple of minutes. What the hell's in there? But yeah, had a pretty decent Christmas. Kids had fun, you know.
Good.
That's all that matters. You know that.
You get to shave off your Santa beard.
Oh, yeah, we did that yesterday. We did that on Christmas Day. Starting to come back though, you know. But
yeah.
We just kept the little thing in the front that we always have, you know. I used to call that a teardrop. Way back in like the 90s, I wore this, right? And nobody else did. And then Sammy Hagar started wearing one, and I was like, you motherfucker, now everybody's going to do it.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong, though. I love Sammy. He's my dude. What is up, DJ? What's happening?
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry. I'm funny. For people that don't know, I got COVID on Christmas. It was like the worst present. Wish I could return it. It didn't come with a receipt, so couldn't give it back.
Do you know who you got it from, though, or was it a secret Santa?
Well, mine came from my husband, obviously. His came from a holiday party that he went to for like an hour and a half. That's like the only thing that he did. The rest of us were just home. So that's the only place it could have come from.
So you and him are quarantined and the rest of the family spending for themselves? What's going on there?
Kind of. It's like he had a couple days where he was quarantined when he was really sick. Mm-hmm. And then he was starting to feel better. So then he was able to switch out with me. So then I got really sick. So then I went into quarantine. Today's the first day where I'm actually starting to feel better. So he kind of went out, and we're just kind of keeping our space from the kids. But I mean, they're kids. We still have to be with them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Here, put this bag over your head. Come here and give me a hug.
Right now.
I know. Don't make you laugh. I know.
I'm going to cough my brains out. But they're doing okay. Like Lila actually has COVID, the little one, but she is very mild. She just has a cough. So, and then Katie doesn't have anything. So go figure. Who knows?
Look, the immune system does its job. Okay.
Yeah.
It does what it's supposed to do. You got to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Now, when they start developing things that, you know, attack the immune system, we're in trouble. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, they already do that.
Oh, shit. See? Yeah. That's when we're in trouble as a species. They take away our ability to fight shit off. That's when we're in trouble. So anyway, you got guests. I'm gonna get out the way and let you do your show.
I can't bring them in because I don't have,
can.
because I'm quarantined in my bedroom, and that's why I look different, obviously, than normal because I'm here in my bedroom. But
So
it's funny. I had, if you guys know me, I've done a crap ton of work with my own project, and meeting new people is kind of a fun thing that I really enjoy. That's one of the benefits of promoting your own work is you get to be a part of all these different communities. And I have 2 people here now. I think there's another one coming. And we all kind of met in different spheres, but I'll tell you what, we all do the same thing. Everybody that's going to be on today is a horror comic book writer, and they're all a little bit different, but it's a good morning, Glenn. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing
always shows
up.
up after we play his ad. Have you noticed that?
Oh.
He always shows up after we play the ad. He never knows that we actually played it, but we did. We did.
Play your ad every week. Funny. But it's like, it's fun to bring people together too that haven't met each other. So the 3 people that are going to be on today have never talked to each other, have all met me through different, aspects. And like, I've met one from being on their show. I met one from being on Twitter and just making friends. And the other one I met through someone else's show, Paul Gomez, and then became a part of their group. So it'll be fun to kind of put everybody together and see how we all interact in kind of our own petri dish. But good morning, McLean. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there, but as you can hear, I'm not I'm not 100% yet.
But she is 100% trooper because she's here. She's here.
I couldn't miss the show. It's so hard to like invite all the people and then be like, well, I'm not going to be there.
You're going to have to go hang out with Pops. They're like, no way. I don't want to hang out with Pops.
No, like if I'm scared, I'm just hanging out, on my phone, and I can do it. So let's start bringing some people in. Let's bring in Ronnie. Actually, I've known Ronnie the longest. Hey, Ronnie, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm good.
Podcast. He's also known as Crimson Owl.
Yep, Crimson Owl Comics.
Yep, and I was on his show the first time I was promoting, Path of the Pale Rider. And
amazing book. People need to buy it.
Oh, thank you. I'll pay you $20 later. But I had a great time talking with you and your co-host, and when you guys are my buds now. I love you guys. So it's just so fun to like start out as a guest and then become, more, be a part of a community and support each other and follow each other's progress. And you also have a comic, right?
Yeah, A Vengeful Heart on Tapas right now.
Okay,
how many episodes are in?
3 episodes. I'm working on 4 right now.
Crimson Owl Comics, and I get all of your socials. But do you have a web page, a website?
Nope, I'm working on that right now.
Okay. Yeah. I was just because I like to share the website because usually that tells where everything you're doing is at, and it's like a centralized location. But
I do have my link tree. That's about it.
Okay, why don't you drop that in the private chat so I can copy that and put it in the chat. Same for all you other awesome guests. I'm going to get the hell out the way and push buttons in the backstage. If you need anything, just private chat.
I'll be right back because I'm on my phone, so I might go black screen for a second. So.
Oh, okay.
Or just let me know what you need. Okay?
Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Well, Ronnie, what's Comics Melt? Wait, your podcast, what's the podcast called? It's not Crimson Owl, it's
Comics Della Morte.
It's Comics of Death, yes. And how long have you been podcasting?
It's been going on 2 years.
Wow. I'm sure you've seen so many interesting people.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Like right now, I'm on a leave of absence during the holidays, just relaxing, with my ongoing illness. But as soon as January comes, I got like 4 guests lined up. So
nice. And I think I'm one of them.
Yep.
Woohoo!
But it's definitely it's
in January.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say it's definitely a blessing now because it's at that point where people are messaging me to come on my show instead of me trying to find people.
Yeah, and I think I'm that way too. At this point, it's like, hey, when can I come on your show? It's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
let's look at the
Yeah.
schedule. I don't
Exactly.
know, next week. Let's get you on. Let's talk about what you're doing, and
And
very cool.
it's been great. Like I've had like one of the people I'm gonna have on. He's like a creature feature comic book artist, and he used to work for Troma, so that was an awesome conversation to have. Like if people don't remember Troma, like they're in charge of like Toxic Avenger and all those movies, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
We're gonna have to introduce this guy to Brian Christgau. I'm just saying. Later tonight, about 8:00, Ronnie, we have a show called the Horror Movie Club.
Oh, I love horror movies, especially 80s.
I'm just saying, you might want to tune in. You're going to want to be part of this because we basically just hack movies a different movie every week that's not behind a paywall. So
right.
That we tell everybody, this is what we're going to watch and this is what we're going to chop up this week. Come check it out. And,
awesome.
It's
I think
fun.
Ronnie would really fit in with that group too.
That's what I said.
That was the best. That was the best part.
Brian,
growing up as a kid, going to Blockbuster or whatever movie it is, it's like, oh, I love that front cover. I don't know what the movie's about, but let me go watch it.
Right. Sorry, excuse me. Can we bring in Carissa too? Well, hello.
Hello.
I wasn't prepared for that. I'm like, oh, hi.
Sorry, I know, we don't have any intros right now.
No, that's okay. I was just like,
box and my
popped on the screen. That's okay.
Surprise. Carissa is a comic book writer as well, and
awesome.
Supernatural horror.
I tell people.
What?
I said that's what I tell people anyway, that I'm a writer.
Stop it. But Ronnie, this is Carissa. Carissa, this is Ronnie. You guys
how you doing?
Friends.
Good.
That's what I introduce people, right? And make friends.
Oh yeah. She's a horror comic book writer. Got to get her on my show too. Why not?
I was gonna say horror, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I've been watching horror since I think I was 5, when I probably wasn't supposed to.
I think
Same
that's
here.
kind of all started is either had an older sibling that was watching and we probably weren't supposed to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was watching. We actually just talked about this last week. I was watching from the stairs, and I can't remember which one was first. It was either Cujo, or it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 with the That's the one.
Dream Warriors.
Yeah, that's the one.
That was my first movie.
Yeah, now it's my favorite scene. But as a kid, I'm like, what is he doing? Right. What is going on? So, but I also grew up with Watermelon and The Last Unicorn. So.
Oh yeah.
I was watching all that stuff from day one, so I was desensitized. I'm just lucky. When I used to draw back in the day, I would draw these really elaborate, depressing, sad pictures. But I wasn't sad. It was just the easiest emotion to show, and I liked it, so I kept drawing. I'm just lucky my mom didn't put me in a rubber room, being like, she never cries ever, but all she does is crying pictures.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The outlet. I mean.
I get, yeah. She always said I was going to wind up in a rubber room one day because I don't cry. And I was like, oh, good to know. So, any day now. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah. I got to find the sketchbook. I drew for 1 year. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I have a full sketchbook of these, mostly from The Crow and Dungeons and Dragons. I would just copy things from them. And then I just never did it again. That was it. 1 year. And they look just like the pig. They were great, but I could only copy what I saw. I'd see it and I draw it, and that was it. But then I just kind of moved on to clay and stuff, and I really like working with clay and other kinds of medium. So I do a lot of. I loved clay. I would make dragons and everything from it, but we don't exactly have a kiln here, so I had to switch to the polymer clay, which is nice because you don't have to color it, so it works out. But
can we bring it? Yes, so we can all be here together, Pops. Ta-da.
Hey guys.
This is Chris
Hello.
Hayes and Chris Hayes.
Hello.
How you doing?
Who is also a comic book writer, writes in horror. Ta-da!
Awesome.
I see a theme.
Yeah, there's a theme here this morning.
Right.
I kind of came to the realization what had happened like after I had booked all you guys to be together, and I was like, oh my gosh, we all write horror comics together. I'm like, this is
Hell
really
yeah.
It's just kind of like, I naturally put it together, and then I was like, this is why. But what happened?
I don't know.
We had an advertisement come
It was
up.
a jump scare.
Chris is a writer as well and has written several titles.
Awesome.
And is on a CEO of Charter Comics, and has really good stuff. Like if you haven't read The Ferryman or Detour, or what would you even call 2032 would almost be, it's not really horror, but it's like psychological.
It's a psycho thriller. Yeah, it's a psycho thriller.
Yeah, an apocalypse. So
yeah, post-apocalyptic psycho thriller.
Oh, I love those.
Nice.
Right? So absolutely awesome to have all three of you here, and we can hang out and talk about that. And you guys are kind of started talking about what I wanted to talk about, like what started everybody on their journey writing horror specifically.
Well, mine was Resident Evil, so it wasn't really the movies per se. It was the game Resident Evil 2 started it all. So I played it. I was obsessed with it, and I started to role play it. And then I role played it for 17 years, and just started writing novels, horror. So that's me. That's horror, but it's not. It wasn't movies. It was actually my first horror game ever. So actually, it's one of my first games ever, and I didn't know how to play it, so it didn't go well right away. So, well, I literally I got the game. I rented it because I saw the commercial with Leon and the alligator crocodile in the sewer, and I made my parents go out, buy me PlayStation for whatever holiday was closest, rent the game, no instructions, could not get him to get out of the fire, just kept walking right into the fire. And then I threw the controller and said, I'm done with this game and everything. And my older brother comes in, takes the controller, starts playing. And I was like, get out of my room. And then I just took over, and that was it. 6 hours later, you're playing the game. So that was it. So anyway, that's I started writing from that. So a lot of mine has Resident Evil themes here and there, but more supernatural than anything.
Chris?
Mine was my mother. I kind of grew up, and we're all kind of demented in my family, I guess. So, you want to be honest. So she was a Stephen King fanatic. So I remember grabbing a couple of the novels when I was younger in middle school and started reading them. And then she gave me one that he had a bunch of short stories in. I absolutely loved it. So then I kind of fell in love with Stephen King stuff and really got into horror movies probably when I was 10 and 11. And, as I got older, I always had a different imagination. So, started just jotting things down, having stuff in my mind. And then about 3 years ago, when I met McGuire, we were talking, and I was telling him I had all these ideas, and he helped do comics. So we just started putting them together. And that's really how we got started.
Yeah. One of the very first horror movies I remember watching it. It's, changed my life.
I figure I would make it in this industry.
What?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I figure I'll make it in the industry if it's like Misery, if I ever get kidnapped and tied up and just not have my ankles broken or anything. But
that was worse.
Arrange that if you want to put the kidnap, you can just write.
Yeah.
I think in the book though they cut off the ankles or something.
They cut them off, in the book.
Yeah. I read the book and then the movie, and I was like, oh, I don't know if that's better or worse. It's like nasty.
It was really gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get a stalker like that, I figure. I don't know how you'd feel. I guess kind of creepy. I'm not a celebrity. I think. So I don't know. We don't have paparazzi lining up around our doors. But maybe one day, who knows?
I don't want to be famous. I just want my book to be known. Like I want to
exactly.
But I want them to love my book. So
yeah, you want to go, oh, this is who wrote this. Yeah, I want to grab more of their work.
Yeah,
right.
But I don't want anyone to recognize me or know me. That's like the circle.
Right. first time when like you were reading Stephen King, and then you saw a picture of Stephen King, you're like, whoa.
You know it's one messed up man when the guy he's almost killed and run off the road when he was out for a walk, right? And that car hit him and almost killed him. And he bought the car that almost killed him, and it's sitting in his living room. It still has the blood on the front grill of the car as a reminder about his life, and it's sitting there. You know that's a messed up man, right? And it's a true story. He bought that car, so that's weird. I don't think I could go to that extreme, but
I might buy it and like destroy it. I don't know if I'd put it in my living room, but I could
put it on the
I'd
wall.
sledgehammer it or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Take my revenge on the car.
Where started you in horror?
Well, pretty much my whole family love horror movies. My parents, siblings, and my nieces and nephews got their kids into horror. So yeah, just going to Blockbuster, the nearest video store, watching whatever horror movie we could find. Then us as a family staying up late to watch Tales from the Crypt on HBO, you know, lived it, you know. So why not? And horror is just such a great genre to like draw our work in, because there's so many subgenres. You got the sci-fi, you got the slasher, you got the supernatural, you got so much you could adapt into this genre field to work in. Even creature features.
You just made me realize my whole family hates horror and I'm the only one. Look out.
so that made you stand out.
Yeah. Like my mom
Yeah.
was supportive. She bought my comic, but she's never gonna open it or read it. And my plushie Anubis, she thinks is scary. I'm like, he's cute. He's just a plushie Anubis. She's like, I couldn't have him in a dark room. I was like, but he has gems on his collar. He's fine. I don't get it, but at least she's supportive.
I was always that kid growing up where we would go on vacation and I would find like the haunted house or the haunted depot, whatever, you know, those fun houses they take you through where they like jump scare you. They have like a maze or something. I was always the kid that would make our family do it, and they'd all agree, and then they'd all get mad at me because they were scared out of their minds, and I just had a blast every time. So it's like
my parents took me to one of those when I was like 4, and all I know is that I bit really hard into my father's shoulder, and they didn't take me for another couple of years. So I guess I got scared. I don't remember it. I just know he probably still has a scar. So apparently I have good teeth. But yeah. I used to love those too, but I don't like the live ones with the people now. I guess they just freak me out more, but we have a zombie apocalypse one here that's like the wax, and you have to go through the lab and get out. And there's a fire going on. Oh, it's all, you got to come visit so we can go through it. It's awesome. So
you know, they were working on this thing in Detroit back when I was still living in Michigan, where they were going to take because there's just abandoned neighborhoods in downtown Detroit where they were going to buy like a, I don't know, 15 mile square block, and reinforce the houses that were still there, and then make it like an obstacle course. Like you would go in at night with a tour guide, and your job was to like run missions and survive until the morning. So you got to have like a realistic zombie.
Oh,
she froze.
She froze.
All right, one of your pops is in.
She was just, she got attacked by a zombie while she was talking about it.
Right.
It was just getting good. I was like, wait, what happens?
It was called like World Zombie. I forget what they were going to call it, but it was so cool. And they were trying to like raise money to do it. And it just never got approved.
Sounds awesome.
It would have been awesome. Yeah. You could have been like an actor, like dress up as a zombie every night, and you know, go scare people.
They have every Halloween. I haven't done it yet, but But every year here they have a paintball zombie thing, where but it's not that cool. Like you don't try to survive for real, like in this like abandoned town. But I guess it's like a run, and you have to like avoid them, and you can shoot them with paintballs. I don't know. I'll get brave and do it one day, but I'd rather face real zombies than a bunch of people any day.
I mean, that would have been cool to be like the most realistic zombie experience that you can do.
Yeah.
Without, I don't know. It's like you can't kill the people.
No. Well, I always said like with the zombie apocalypse, I'm way more scared of people than zombies. I mean, people are cruel and, they're resilient. So, yeah, I'm more worried about.
It's like you could have someone writing some kind of storyline, or like as events happen throughout the evening, like someone to write like the different types of missions that these people could run. So then like different things could happen. I think we could still do it. Chris, let's make it happen.
We can do that.
Can we?
We've got a lot coming up we have to write, Laura.
I know. I'm there for it. I'm very excited for 2023 and to start writing on all these projects. Like I've been keeping notes for all my ideas for Psycho Sal. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm almost done with 3, and then it's all yours. So, and when I'm done with the script, I'll send it over. So we'll send it to William, but then that way you can pick up take over where you're picking up on this. So
yeah,
you get to have fun with it.
Sure, I'll have a million questions so I can pick your brain and make sure I stay with the continuity.
I think both
will be exciting.
Yeah.
Both my series have a book of the zombie something. Like the main Redemption has kind of like Resident Evil 2, where they're trapped in the city. It winds up. Well, I can't say that, but they get trapped in the city, and they go to like a military hospital, and they're hiding in there. And the spin-off was Zombie Island, so kind of like. Nope, Code Veronica was the other one. So it's just its own thing that they get trapped on there, and there's schools they hide in and stuff. So, but we try to put zombies in there whenever we can. So we love zombies.
Paul says, do you guys feel horror comics are at its height? I don't know. It's like there's always something, in my opinion, that someone's going to do to push the button.
Exactly.
What I mean? They're pretty popular right now, actually, I would think. I've seen a lot of serial killer comic book series recently. I think that's kind of a new trend. But there's always going to be something new that's going to push it to a new height, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I always say this is the best it's going to get.
I haven't heard Ronnie talk in a while. Ronnie's been
most definitely. I think it could get better. I mean, the 50s and 60s, that's where horror was throbbing back in the day. And then superheroes came along, and now everything's superheroes. But, horror's amazing. And, not just us, but just people that I've had on my show and your show, people are now saying, comics are more than just superheroes, and it needs to get back to the other genres. And I believe horror's rocking right now, especially with the indie genre on, all the topics or wherever you want to go to watch them or read them.
What do you guys think about horror comics, and are they at their height?
Well, it's a special genre, actually, and Ronnie said it's making its comeback. In the store, for one, it's picking up because DC and Marvel have jumped on that train finally. Even in our store, people are getting tired of the superhero stuff because you can only take so much of somebody having 400 issues of the superhero. They keep redoing the stories, but with a horror comic, you can go all kinds of different directions. So DC launched a horror line. Marvel's coming out with its own horror line now because they see that that's what customers are wanting, and they're starting to jump on that train. But it's strong in the indie community, and that's where they're getting their ideas because they're not very original. And I will say that they're not original. So they're jumping on looking at the indie comic creators, and that's where this genre is strongest.
I agree.
Yeah, because like right now, I'm went to a bunch of comic book stores, and just seeing so many indie horror comic creators just coming out, it's amazing. And just seeing like the Creep Show TV show come out, and now Creep Show's having like their line of comic issues. I got a couple of them. So it's just really great to see that stuff make a comeback.
The more the better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think all my indie creators that I know are horror or slasher or thriller or something related to it. So I'm trying to think if there's any that isn't. But But I gravitate towards horror, so that's probably all me. So.
Well, it doesn't get old. I mean, no true story. Exactly. Just like Laurie, like you said, yeah, there are a lot of serial killers, but everybody's almost kind of passionate about serial killer stuff. I mean, come on, Netflix just did a freaking TV show on Dahmer, and I mean, how many people? I watched it, and it was messed up. But I mean, how many people literally sat down? How did you know years ago where you're like, oh, I want to sit down and be interested in a TV show to be fascinated with about Dahmer? That guy was jacked up. I mean, when
and
you
look
watch
at how great Chucky's doing on Sci-Fi.
There you go. Yeah, and it's because people want to gravitate toward that. They're interested in that, and all the stories are different. You could have 4 million serial killers out there. People are going to grab the books and read it.
Yeah,
right.
You know, it's one of those things. Like I tell people, you could have a group of people fighting over who's the best superhero, and then you're going to have a group of people saying what slasher would kill what slasher. Like before Freddy versus Jason came out, the movie, we always wanted to see those two fight.
Right. No, you agree. I mean, I agree with you.
I love Freddy versus Jason. Like 20 years a little late, but I still loved it.
Right.
Well, and it's like you get to, I don't know what I want to say here. Carissa, I don't know how old you are. You're probably closer.
44. I had to think for a minute.
Wow.
45 next month. Yeah, February 20th. No, what month is it? February. I'll be 45.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, she froze again.
Somebody needs to screenshot that look.
That's a great look.
Really annoying. Annoying.
Why, how old did you think I was?
And apparently here, and my face freezes in the most disgusting.
It wasn't disgusting. I'm sure it was amusing.
Amusing. Yeah. My whole point was all these shows that we talk about lovingly 20 years later, it's still fun to watch them again or bring them to a new generation. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Gremlins is a Christmas movie for sure, especially the first one.
We just talked about that Gremlins is a Christmas movie, yeah.
Totally is.
Well, we just watched Violent Night, so that's a new Christmas movie.
Oh, that was great. That's an all-out Christmas movie.
It was like Silent Night, Deadly Night, Bad Santa, and a little bit of Home Alone, like put together.
Right.
Like it was awesome. Like
I love it. Not for kids.
Yeah.
No, got to throw Black Christmas in there, the original.
Yeah. I was happy with it. I wasn't sure, but I loved it.
So McLean says, as creators and writers writing your own horror stories, what would you change out of the norm you've seen written or produced? What would you change?
I'm working on like 65 issues. I can't work on anybody else's. I have no idea.
Norm.
I know.
Like, what would you consider the norm? I don't know.
I don't know what I'd consider the norm on that.
Right.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
No pressure, Ronnie. It's all on you.
Maybe just don't be too cliche about everything, even though that's the great thing. I mean, people, as soon as we see the I don't know if I could cuss in the show, but the jackass in the group who's like the jock and picking on everybody, you want him to die first. So, that's great to see. But yeah, just, if someone's running on the road, of course we know that the killer in the car is going to kill that person. Just make stuff not so cliche that it's like, oh, you could predict how someone's going to die. That's what I could say.
You say that, and then people like it because it's traditional. So there's
that's true. That's true.
You got to do both. It's like, actually, it's kind of nice when it does that, where you think it's exactly like the old one, and then does like a switch. It's like a thing. So you kind of get like, I kind of liked, what was it, Cabin in the Woods, where they kind of made fun of it.
Yeah,
I like that
great movie.
Yeah, I kind of like the gas goes in and makes you do stupid things. Let's separate. Let's split up. So it's like making fun of all the fun stuff that you used to yell at them to do, and we still yell at them for doing. But it is funny that if someone's a jerk, you could say, "I hope they die." Like, not feel like a bad person.
Yeah.
I hope he dies next. So yeah, is that. So I don't know. I don't know what I'd switch. If I switch it, then I'd miss it. I don't know. Slasher, killers, shooters.
Yeah, he's talking about the norm: slashers, killers, shooters. He stumped me. I don't even know how to answer that.
No idea. Oh, is she thinking or not? Don't have sound. Laurie, you there?
I'm supposed to have sound.
There you go.
There you go. Can hear you.
I wasn't sure if she was thinking.
Talking, coming out. Oh, it's fun.
I know.
Can't win.
But like I said, I have like 65 issues, so no notes yet.
No.
No.
Paul, I would say, like, after watching so much horror genre, it's like they kind of all follow the same formula.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want to, it's like, yeah, you want to take notes, but you also want to expound upon that. You want to do something new.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You don't want to be the same. So, like, for
Right.
my comic, the moments that hit are the ones that are unexpected, where it's like, why? You want to look at that other stuff and be like, what works about it? You know, how can I use that? And then how can I change that? Right?
Well, you use it for a reference, maybe, but
yeah,
you want to use your own style to it, but you do want to be different, because if you're not, then you're another Me Too.
Right.
Well, yeah, mine's not really the typical slasher horror. Mine's more, you know, demons versus angels and monsters thrown in. So I guess mine's more gore than, it's not like, you know, slashers or there's no serial killer.
And demons.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my main character in my book, he's the son of the devil, but he's the hero of the book as well. So he wants to live a normal life while his father's like, no, screw that. I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
Actually, that's like mine. My Seraphina's father is an angel, and he's actually the worst. And then you've got Draven's father is one of the chaos demons, and they just like to screw with their children and screw up their lives forever. So yeah, that's just, you know, I don't even know. I have campaign buttons to choose sides, and I don't even know which side I'm on. So like, I don't know. I mean, the angel has a good reason, but the demon's more fun. So I don't know. Just cause chaos. I'm good with that. But
oh no, the dreaded silence.
So what would be your?
I just, you know.
Oh yeah. So what would you be your guys' favorite like horror movie of all time?
Favorite horror movie?
Just throw it out there.
Well, see, that's hard for me because Shaun of the Dead is one of my favorite. But if I'm talking about classics, then it would have to be Elm Street. So I'd have to say that Nightmare. I mean, Freddy Krueger is my favorite villain. I mean, he's just
Same here.
He's funny. And you know, if you think about how messed up it is that we kind of root for him half the time, and he tortured kids. So I try not to read too much into it, but I mean, I guess he's funny. So, but he's getting revenge for them getting revenge, and you know, just enjoy the movie, I suppose. But I would have to say the Elm Street series would be my favorite, followed by Shaun of the Dead, or even Wrong Turn. I love Wrong Turn.
The Wrong Turn was great.
Yeah. The first one. I don't.
The first one, yeah. Then they went overboard. So
the rest was
like most horror franchise movies, it starts getting really bad.
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the low budget indie film, kind of like
Evil Dead.
Amazing. Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, where they do these really awesome low budget films, and it's like it has all the creativity, all the ingenuity, right? And then it's like Hollywood gets their money mitts into it and turns it into just their something.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Dead had a low budget, right? The first one they had.
That one was amazing. So it's like I can't answer that question without like categorizing, because it's like supernatural scare me. So like The Exorcist was definitely up there, but it's like it's not slasher. So it's like if you want a slasher, you pick it's like, or there's like even the newer ones like Hereditary and
Smile.
I haven't
was
seen that one yet. I just talked about that yesterday. I want to see that.
Smile, I think, into that category though, that when you see the monster, it's less scary.
Right.
See, I'm with you though. I have to categorize mine. So the slasher, it's always Elm Street. But then you go back to where I'm the fan of Misery, because it is almost like a psycho thriller. And then you go look at Christine, right? And then you look at just different Stephen King movies. The Mist. I love The Mist.
Oh, I mean, The Mist.
Just the ending of The Mist, you don't see it coming.
That was harsh.
So terrible. Yeah. Right? That's like, didn't Stephen King say, like, I think his name is Frank Darabont. He's the only director that's really done his movies well. Most of them, he doesn't approve. But he did. King?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He did The Mist and what's the other one? He did
his own, but he was like hyped up on LSD or something, right? So that's
right.
Oh.
Well, Laurie, I think you know mine already. It's John Carpenter's The Thing. Just love that movie. The writing, the special, the makeup, all that ending. Stuff. Yeah, the ending. Yeah.
Psychological. Even the beginning where they're like, stay away from it. It's a dog, but they don't.
Oh, the dog.
But you have to speak the same language. It's like, oh no. Right?
Yeah, it's really hard to pick. You have to break him down into categories.
Yeah. Like even, slasher, it's cheesy and it's more of a comedy, but like my family got me a fleece blanket of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Love that movie. It's my favorite horror comedy.
And that's fun too when you start taking horror and then blending it into different genres.
Yeah.
Like mine. Mine is all sorts of genres.
Mine will be super serious, and then Draven's just sarcastic. So, but it's like he doesn't mean to, but it's funny because he's sarcastic. So, that's my humor. I have dry humor in like the worst situation, so that just comes out. It's not meant to be a comedy, just
right
there.
Well, that's what happened with a lot of the '80s horror movies, especially going on into the late '80s with Chucky, Freddy, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like the more those properties went on, the more sarcastic and kind of hokey they got.
And then Freddy was always sarcastic. That was my favorite part about Freddy.
Oh yeah.
Hey Pops, can you put McClane back up?
What about The Strangers?
The Strangers.
See, that freaked people out because that's something unlike now. Anybody can literally grab a knife and go down the street and start whacking people, right? So I mean, you can be your own Freddy and Jason and Michael. You can do that. When you get to The Strangers, that's more reality. That you're actually seeing stuff like that happen today, and that freaked a lot of people out.
Yeah.
It was just weird. I mean, it was a great show, but that's one that they're starting to really categorize that as a true horror show because of how it made people feel.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the uncomfortable, awkward.
Yeah.
Someone asked about a mindset.
Voodoo child.
Yeah, that one.
This one.
I don't have a mindset.
How do you get into the mindset of writing your stories? For example, do you feed off your everyday life, turn off the lights, etc., etc.?
I sit on my couch and have to have the TV on pause, and that's about it. That's all I do.
But like when you're creating your ideas,
I literally just write. I have no thought process whatsoever. Like if I have a dream, like I had a dream yesterday, so now we added a whole other issue to spin off with them trapped by vampires and all that. So I added that in. But I don't really have it. I literally just I just write. But my characters are alive in my head. They do all the work. I just type. I have nothing to do with it. So yeah, I don't have a mindset.
What about you guys?
I would definitely say I have a mindset because being a comic book writer or any type of writer in the horror genre, you got to make your characters seem realistic and believable, not stereotypical, and make them like look at Game of Thrones. You always fell in love with the character, and then you were sad when that character actually died because you spent so much time into those characters. So make your characters like believable, where people could relate to, and that just wants the reader to even read more of your work, I would say.
But do you do something specific when you write?
Yeah. So how do you get into that?
I would just sit in a dark room, put on some music, maybe from the 80s, and just go at it, get in my quiet area and just go to work.
You're probably the only one that just has to have the TV on pause. I don't know why. I can't write unless the TV's on pause. It doesn't even matter what it's on. It just has to be pause, like a YouTube video on pause. That's it. I think it makes the room feel bigger. I don't know. It's weird.
Chris?
Yeah, I gotta have it quiet. I'll come in the office, but McLean knows how I work sometimes. But a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm playing it out as a movie in my head. I'm such a movie buff that when I'm writing, I'm actually picturing what these characters are looking like, and I have them in my head. And I'm actually going, okay, if this is a movie, how do I want this movie to be? So that is what I'm typing. When I'm writing it out, it's like I'm actually writing a movie, or I'm watching a movie in my head.
I'm similar to that as well. I might have some music on depending on what I'm writing. But that's about it. Like I usually sometimes I'll even go for a walk by myself and I'll play it out in my head. You know what I mean? But I have to be alone, which is hard when you have two small kids. But
yeah, I do have to be alone and quiet. That's the main thing. But I mean, I wrote the 5 novels before I thought of even writing the comics. So after those were written, I kind of based off of that. But for the spinoff, now everything I write is pictured in panels. So I kind of already picture what the comic's going to look like as I write. So my thought process has changed when I'm writing. I'm just like, oh, this would look so cool in a panel, So that's definitely a different way that I see it. Whereas before, I literally would just sit down, write 6,000 words, and then send it off, and then wait for the next chapter. So it was a little different. But now, yeah, everything's pictured in panels, so it's more fun.
Now, when you guys write, are you writing novel? Are you writing panels? Like, the different styles of, like, I write it in a screenplay, typically, where I'm not writing what's like page 1, panel 1, da da da. What method do you guys prefer?
Well, I'm novel, always.
Well, with me, since I'm doing the artwork and the drawing, like I have the main story idea in my head. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing like the comic book way, where it's like I got a plot and then I'm just drawing page by page. And it's like, okay, if that doesn't really go well with the plot, so let me scrap that.
Yeah, I do panel. Mine is page 1, so I can describe what I'm looking at to the illustrator who's going to draw this for me. So everything that I do is by panels.
Well, so I write a novel first, and then I convert to script. So it does go to script. But even when I write, I just added a scene where the angel and demon fight. I literally write it in a novel way first, and then I convert it to script. I can't write it in script first. So my brain doesn't work that way, but all my novels are being converted by me. But yeah, I can only write in a novel form. So, but I see it in panel, so it's getting better.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to start doing is converting my scripts over to like the comic book method, where it's like page and panel. Just because I think working with other artists like Marco can read my script and does all the paneling and does a great job. So there's no reason to mess with that. But like writing on some of these other projects, I probably need to learn that going forward to help them visualize what I'm seeing in my head. I think. So the only horror movie that messed with me, Last House on the Left.
Oh yeah.
I think the only one that bothered me was it in the shower, because my shower made that noise and I was a teenager, so I would have to shower with my eyes open, staring at the drain, just making sure. I think that's the only one that messed with me.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing funny about that one, Pops. You have to understand me, though. When it's gory and disgusting, it makes me laugh. That's how I roll. When
That's
I'm like,
funny.
that part where it's all popped out of his head. Yeah, it's gross. Stop it. Take me off.
Okay, so horror, being horror, and I'm a freak on this stuff. What about and people are starting to categorize some of these shows as horror, and I crack up because these are comedy. What about what about the shark shows? You know, you guys ever watch those?
The what?
The shark shows, like Sharknado, but the other ones that are out there. Okay, so you got Sharknado, but there are so many other ones that are like, they are just so bad, like literally D-level.
Go
movies.
Shark. Go Shark. That was
Go
hilarious
Shark,
movie.
right? There's fields, sharks of fields or something, and then the latest one that I watched about a couple of weeks ago was Santa Jaws. It was so bad. Right? There's a shark, and he wears the Santa hat on the dorsal fin, and he's got jingle bells when he's swimming up for a kill. But it's one, there are those movies that once you start, you cannot stop until you watch it all the way to the end. But they're so bad.
I loved Jaws when I was a kid. I always rooted for the shark. I mean, they messed with him. So her messed with her. Yeah, I've only seen Sharknado. I haven't seen the other ones. But I see like previews all the time. Like there was shark versus like dinosaur or something.
Yeah,
like
shark versus dinosaur, and six-headed shark attack, and they're so bad. But oh my god, they're good. They're for a good laugh. Hilarious.
I thought Sharknado was funny. So
yeah,
especially the stock footage of the sharks swimming around.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like Sharktopus, like half shark, half octopus. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to see that now. Does it have an explanation of why it's like that, or is it just a shark?
No, like I watched one the other day flipping through Netflix or Amazon, and there was literally one that it's like Children of the Corn, but it was Sharks of the Corn. I can't remember the name of it. But they're in Nebraska, and there's a cornfield that's got sharks swimming around a cornfield.
Oh my gosh.
People go on a hike, and the sharks kill them in the cornfield, and oh my god, it was so bad. And it was a government experiment that had to do with an alien and a scarecrow that turned the shark. It was bad, but you had to watch it till the end.
Well, Ghost Shark was just so funny because the shark could literally appear in any type of body of water. Like if you step in a puddle, you could die from the shark. That's just
wow.
Yeah.
Does it come through the shower?
I don't want there was there's I don't want to say too much spoilers, but one of my favorite kills was the guy was drinking water from the water fountain area, and as soon as the guy drank the water where the shark is, the shark just exploded out of his body. I'm like,
I might need to watch this now.
Well, see, Laurie, you need to have this. This should be one of your shows, or I'm going to do this where you give everybody homework to watch one of these crazy shark movies, and we'll go back and review.
Like a book club, but more fun.
Yeah.
I love reading, but it's just not the same as watching a horror movie.
Guys, there's another show on Tuesdays that's in the evening that Brian Christgau, did I pronounce that right? Does. And they do that where they put out a movie that's not behind a paywall so everybody can watch it. And they tell you, okay, we're going to go watch this movie. And then they just rip it to shreds in the show.
Like Cinema
you
Sins.
can go watch it. Oh my god, it's so funny.
Now hold on. If it's a good movie, then I mean, they get a good review.
Pops out of nowhere, Pops.
Well, he's
yeah, I join those guys every week. I'm kind of like a semi co-host or whatever because it's fun. It's we watch a movie, something that's not behind the paywall, so everybody can watch it. And then we'll come out later tonight at 8:00 and we'll talk about the movie, show clips from it, talk about it. If it's stupid, if it's good, if it, whatever. I mean, we give our honest opinion of what we thought of it. We love the B movies, the crazy ones, the ones that, are funny. But because of Laurie bringing Margene Holden out last month, right? She's going to come out next Tuesday and we're going to do John Carpenter's Vampires, which of course.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have her on the show with us while we talk about the movie. You know, it's gonna be
Yeah, she's a cool lady.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a fun.
Laurie's cool, y'all. Bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah. So we do that on this network. What was I going to say though? My favorite B movie, terrible thing to watch is Velocipaster.
That was great.
Yeah.
Great. Someone just mentioned that, but I have never heard of it before yesterday, and I haven't looked it up. But I don't know if it's my favorite B movie, but the weirdest one was, what is it, Rubber? That was insane.
Oh, yeah, the tire.
Tire.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I was like, well, and the sad part is I watch a lot of the dash cams, and they're all tires or like destroying cars and killing people, and I'm like, maybe it's really out there, and we just think it's not. I mean, it looks like a plain tire, but I don't know. Maybe it's Ghost Tire. He just possesses all these different tires and then, attacks everybody.
I got a lot of my friends who watch Rubber, and a lot of them got mad at me. But again, that's one of those shows when you start watching it, you're like, what am I watching? And I think I've seen it like 9 times. And one of the parts that kills me still is, and it's not a spoiler, but he's in the hotel room. He's in the hotel room, and he's sitting there, and he's got the beer has the beer next to him on the table. And he's watching NASCAR. Right? I mean, it's just so cliche of a moment right there. It's literally an 8-second moment, and you're like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So
I watch NASCAR.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh, Michael.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Overall, on everything you've accomplished in your projects and writing, as we close out 2022, are you happy with the amount of stories you have released? Are you satisfied with the amount of titles you completed? I ask because if you're like me, I set goals of books to complete in the year and to keep it consistent in the industry. Where are each and every one of you at for the year? What are you looking at to accomplish 2032? Ooh, that's a big one. In fact, it covers up our bottom 2 panelists with that question. But yeah, all right, I'm going to answer that question. Yes, I'm happy for what I did in 2022 because I started in 2022. I had 0 books published in 2021, and I have 1 published in 2022. We're close. It was close. We were pushing towards the end of the year, but because we decided to go color, it's going to be January. But I got my start. I'm here doing this podcast in 2022. I met all of these wonderful people that you're talking to in 2022. I joined a publisher in 2022. So did I do as much as I could have? Probably I could have done at least 1 more, but am I happy with what I accomplished? Yes, because I started. And that's like half the battle is just to do 1, right? To say you're going to do it and actually follow through. I would like to do 4 a year. We're gonna say 3 a year. 3 issues a year, or at least right now, just to have a goal. And I'm really looking forward to being involved in other projects besides my own this coming year. So I'm going to say that's a goal for myself, is to be a part of 2 or 3 other projects to kind of get my name out there. But for Path of the Pale Rider, I'd like to get 3 more issues out next year. My goal is to do once a quarter, so to get 4 books out a year. That would be ideal. If we could go faster, if it was humanly possible, I would love to get out as many a year. But, I'm not going to say I want 6 a year, and then when we, do 3 and we fall short, to be disappointed. I'm going to say, we did 1 this year. Let's look and see if we can do 3 next year.
That's me.
And we'll see what we do. Yep. Carissa, don't you have a Kickstarter coming? Or is it live?
It's pre-launch right now. Sorry, I was just writing to my artist. Just sent me pages, so of course I was slightly distracted. We are in pre-launch right now. You can find it by searching Worthy Chaos. It's actually going to be for issues 1 through 3. So I'm launching pretty much January 17th. We have 62 followers right now, and I started last launch with 25, so I feel a little bit more ahead than I was then.
last year you set a goal and then you met your goal, or what do you feel?
I didn't have a goal because I hadn't thought of this till July. I wrote the 10 novels and then suddenly decided to make a comic out of it, and that was July. So considering I never thought it would be something I do and I was super excited about it, then I got one issue technically out this year, and I am more than happy with that. Next year, my goal is to finish book 1, which is like 7 or 8 issues, I think. So I think we could do it because my artist is like on speed or something and gets them out. Like,
so incredibly fast, it's insane.
Yeah, he does 3 pages a day and they're epic. I don't know what he does, but I don't want to jinx it. So whatever he's doing works for me. So we already got, I think I met him while my other Kickstarter was going. So my Kickstarter was what? It started Halloween. So I met him in November and he's already finished. He's now coloring issue 3. So he's a speed demon. And he's gonna redo issue 1 when we do the graphic novel. So I think we'll have book 1 out by the end of next year. So that's my goal. But I would say my books will probably be out every 6 weeks, an issue every 6 weeks, at his speed anyway. I know, at his speed. So I hope they're popular. Otherwise, I have to like refinance my house or sell it or something. I don't know. Whatever. I just want to see them done. I just love every page that comes out is like a freaking speed rush. So adrenaline rush or whatever. But yeah, so I live for these pages. I like that. Thank you.
Guys, what are your thoughts? Goals for this year, goals for next year?
I think I hit all mine. You know, I got a great team around us. We weren't expecting the Austin St. John thing to come in with us. That shocked the crap out of us. I mean, that you just right place, right time on that one. But I wrote it, we got it out, and the new Ferryman books come in today from the printer. McLean's already let me know. So I wrote 8 books on the year, 8 successful Kickstarters. Ferryman will go out. We'll start shipping out books today for the final Kickstarter, final books of the year. So that was 8, including the redemption book from Austin St. John we got out. And then next year, with Laurie, you coming over to help do stuff and bringing some of your stuff over, we have a goal next year with our group of between 18 and 21 titles out.
Yes.
Awesome.
So we're going to stay busy, and I mean it's already being written now. So I know Laurie, you and I talk all the time. We goof around back and forth, and as a matter of fact, you'll get a kick out of this, Laurie. Look, no, Kim got me this, and you'll know what this is, Kim. Kim got me this, and I had to open this on Christmas, and I was dying. Laurie, you'll like that. Look at that.
Yeah. He needs some attire.
Like, what is this? Awesome. We got a new book out called Nut Brigade. It has to do with assassin squirrels. It's a comedy. I had to just completely change it up, but yeah, this is messed up. Laurie will be writing 1 or 2 issues of that coming down the road. So, but yeah,
we had a brainstorming issue or meeting where we were just like brainstorming all these like hilarious ways all these celebrities could have been killed by squirrels, and it was so funny.
I am going to need to read that.
Oh, it'll be I mean, cover's already being done. The book's already being illustrated. It'll come out in January of next year. Oh, actually, we're like 3 weeks. Kickstarter will start soon. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy where we are, and I've been doing this for about 3 years now. So I'm happy where we're at. The 8 this year was right. We were hoping for 6, and we pushed out 8. And they were all successful, so I can't complain. So, like, you know, you got to surround yourself with people that want to see you succeed, and that's what we do. So we got a good group of creators with us, so I can't be happier.
Ronnie?
I'm definitely happy where I'm at. You know, this year I started getting my horror comic out on Topis. Next year, definitely looking forward to publishing it in a physical book. And next year too, around August, September, going to have a horror calendar out as well with me and another artist, Jill Braun. We did a couple artwork together, and he's friends with Brie Larson and Deborah Lamb, and they're going to help promote that calendar. So that's awesome.
Cool. A calendar, like you're gonna do art?
Yeah, me and him already did the art this year.
It's awesome.
That's cool. Keep us posted on that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I like that idea. That'll be interesting to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, got final girls, then you got some that are like the actual killer from like sleepaway camp. So yeah, just really awesome stuff.
Bye, Doc.
McLean, it's like ours are almost done. Mine is almost done too. Marco has 3 pages left. I'm like, come on. Can't wait to see those. Do some crazy things in those last 3 pages. You guys know.
Is this the coloring of issue 1 that he's finishing, or is this issue 2 he's finishing?
Oh, he's drawing and inking 2 right now.
Okay.
And then he's gonna go back and color 2.
Okay.
We've talked back and forth about going back to color 1, and we'd like to do that. We just have to have extra funds from like another Kickstarter to like start chipping away at that. Yeah. But yeah, the last 3 pages of the comic, I'm usually like throwing something crazy at people, and this one's no different. So it's like, I can't wait to see Marco put that on page. You'd be like, you did what? Sorry, everybody.
My artist just colored 4 pages today. I don't know how he does. And they look good though. I thought I could be like, oh, they look so rushed. If he didn't tell me, I wouldn't even know that he did it all in one day. Awesome. I'm just greedy. I just want more. Like, no matter how fast he sends them, I'm like, you don't have more? What are you doing? So, yeah.
Charter Comics. Go check out all the titles on there. There's so much good stuff that you can read. We just had a meet and greet with Austin St. John. I say we, but Chris and McLean did it all. I just showed up and brought cookies.
Those cookies were great.
Thank you. It was like I brought them for Austin, and I forgot. I passed them out to everybody and didn't leave any for Austin. But I gave him a copy of my comic book, so he got something. But he was super cool, like very nice. He probably spent like 15 minutes talking with me and like nerding out about martial arts and writing comics and all that good stuff. I was like, because he was like, I'm nervous about writing detailed martial arts into the comic book. And I was like, why? He's like, because I need an artist who can be able to draw that level of, martial art activity. And I get it, because my fights are pretty specific. And like, I always spend a lot of time communicating with Marco, like what's important and I feel like the solution to that is like actually choreographing the fight in live action and videotaping, and then giving that to the artist so then they can see the reference. So, but it's hard to do when you don't have people that can do that level of martial arts. So that's always the challenge. It's like, we can make it work. I just need people who be willing to let me throw them around for a few days. Like,
only I was closer.
It's like, come on down, come to Texas. I'm like, I just need you to like fall down a few times while I videotape it. Is that cool? No?
Oh, I could fall down just walking, so I'd volunteer if I was closer. How clumsy as can be. I'm lucky I'm going to be sitting down during these 10 Comic-Cons next year.
Oh, that's a good question, you guys. Are you guys all planning on doing cons? I am.
Definitely at one point, yeah.
I have 10, and I've never done one. So if I don't
Great.
survive, then you know why. So
you're going to do great.
But I just found out I have 3 in a row. I don't even know how that happened.
What do you mean 3 in a row? Like 3 weekends in a row?
Yeah. Like I don't know which ones they are. They're probably, I think they're all local though. So I don't have to like travel far.
Okay.
But it started out one a month, and then those are 2 separate months. And then I guess I threw in CreepyCon because it's a horror con, and the guy's like, oh, it's $100. And I was like, yeah, I want to go to CreepyCon. And then another guy fit me in where he's like, oh, we're already booked up. And I was like, oh, that's okay. It's another horror one. Then he goes, if you want the hallway, you can have the hallway. And I was like, sure. You have to pass me to get in. I'm good with that. It's just like, you have to take all your stuff home. And I was like, I don't have a lot of stuff. Well, I say that, but now I have plushies and statues and 3D printing. So, but I'm super excited. I'll make my husband carry it all. So,
just
huh?
Word of advice on cons. So, because you're saying you hadn't ever done them before, don't.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I can ever say: don't get frustrated. Every con is different, right? And you're a writer. We're all writers. So literally when you're sitting there, we're not like the artists that everybody's running to gravitate to at their tables, right? So you may have an artist next to you that may have a line of people and people just kind of look at your stuff. Well, and they're like, oh, I love your artwork on your books. And you're like, well, no, I'm the writer. I'm the author of these. Oh, okay. And then they'll flip through it and they'll walk away. But you got to remember, you're still there, and you may do a con where you do $500, right, for the weekend. You're like, oh, it's a great show. I did great. I paid for everything. I came out. Then you may go in and do a show where you do $100 on a weekend, and you sat there all weekend. And all I can say is, God, don't let it get to you or get frustrated, because you're going to have good shows and bad shows, and as long as you're talking to people when they walk by your table, you'll be fine. But you're going to have shows to where people just window shop and look and say, hey, I love your stuff, and they're going to keep going. But I hear that's some negative from a lot of people, is they get so frustrated that they don't sell a lot of their stuff at shows. And you never know. Like Laurie's done one with us before, and you could have 9,000 people walking the show and you make 4 sales. Doesn't mean your stuff's bad or anything. It's just that's not what they're looking for that day.
You know what? I found that while I was talking to people, I was selling. So as long as telling people
build that connection.
Yeah, I mean, like, because if you just like, hi, how are you? They're gonna keep walking. But I'm like, hey, do you like horror comics? Hey, do you like Western? Hey, do you like this, that, and the other? And they're like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, let me tell you about this comic. And then I worked sales years ago, so then it was like, hey, let me tell you about this. And it's like I start talking about it, and then they would buy something,
My last few trips through cons have been as a promoter or whatever, and we've gone and done spots with people and stuff. But the thing you notice when you're walking it this way is that you see who's got people's attention, right? What they're doing to get people's attention, because you're standing there waiting to get your interview. Okay, so Dirk Manning's got 4 people in front of him, and he's talking about his stuff, right? And the more he's talking to these people, the more people are coming over and listening to what he's saying, because there's 2, 3, 4 people in front of his table. What are they interested in? What's he saying to them? And they stop. And now he's got more people's attention. If you're sitting at that table and you're not talking to nobody, you're not getting anybody's attention. And
talking has never been my problem. I can guarantee you talking won't be my problem. it's not talking too much.
There are people that I've wanted to interview who I can't get near their table because they are constantly surrounded by fans. They're constantly, they're in conversation with one person after another, after another, after another. There is no break. You might see the dude out in the aisle on the way to the bathroom, but that's close. You're going to get to him, and he's in a hurry. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking to you, Adam. You know I'm talking to you. There's a dude that I try so hard to get an interview with at every show, and he's always surrounded. It's really hard to get a minute with him. That's what I'm saying. When you said talk to people, hell yes, talk to people. Because as soon as somebody walking by hears that or sees that, you sparked an interest just in the fact that you're saying something over here. Half those people are sitting there not doing nothing, right? Be that guy, be that girl, be that person that brings some people to your table.
And I gotta say, I had a lot of people come see me on Sunday at Cowtown because I was dressed and like the cowboy hat on and like the guns and the bullets and so it's like, oh, what are you wearing? Like, whoa. So that kind of brought people over too. Just saying. Yeah, McLean, Pops is right. It's like when you're engaging the people, when you have people interested in what you're talking about, it brings more people. Made them think.
It was easy to talk to all my clients, were all hooked, but I had like when I should have been working, I had time, you know, to talk to them, but I have to narrow down because mine is, you know, complicated. I have to skip the complicated part and just be like, look, there's gore in here. Like,
I think you need to work on your 3-minute, what do you call it? Pitch. Just it needs to be a minute or two, and that's it. Like, because mine is like, what would you do in a world where the dead no longer die? Like, death is broken, your body die, but your soul doesn't leave. That's it. It's like now people are like, what do you mean? Like, you get to experience your own decay phase. Ooh, tell me more, you know?
I will work on this. Not right now, but I will.
Right,
yeah.
obviously not right now.
No, I mean, I was like literally starting to think about it. I was like, I will think about this later. But yeah. I know I mostly talk about the angelic weapon, which is funny because I don't really talk about that much on any of my interviews whatsoever. The whole thing revolves about the angelic weapon. I mean, it's from the centuries before to now, it's all revolved around this. And I never really talk about it, but it's my logo and all that stuff. So I will definitely have that on my table and talk about it and stuff. Like, I've heard conflicting things. Like, half the people tell me that I should give away stickers or buttons or something, and the other half says not to because they'll just take it and go. And I don't know, what is your stance on that? Do you guys, when you first started, did you attract people? My mom gave me a big bag of candy, so my husband's just going to eat it. But like, is there anything you did to entice besides, I mean, I'm Italian. I can easily draw people with my voice over to my table. But I do have a nice retractable banner, and my local comic book store said that they can make me another banner for $65. So I might make one with Anubis. I don't know if you're allowed to, but if you are, I will make Anubis because he's awesome. But do you recommend giving out something free, or do you just talk them over to come over?
If you've got a sticker with your logo and your website, social media on there, that's always worth giving to them. Or if you're just talking to people, a lot of them are going to ask you, oh, do you have anywhere where I can follow you? Even if you just have a QR code sitting on your table.
I have a QR code in the back of my business card. Isn't that cool?
Perfect.
So
That's all you need. That's all you need. So yeah, follow me right here. Even if you don't pick something up today, look, this is my story. Go follow me. And if they do pick up, tell them to message you that you love to hear their reviews on your book, good or bad. You wanna, and then you're building your fan base that way.
Exactly.
Good. I could do that. Yeah. This was a last minute thing right before I bought my cards, and I was excited to do it. So, and my first con is a tiny one, which I'm really glad, because technically my first con was going to be Lexington, which is 4 days. And I was like, I'm going to go to the biggest con in the area, and I don't even know how to set up my retractable banner yet. But now I'm doing it. I'm too short. I have to figure out how to do it. But my local comic book store said I can have a table at their little con. So I'm going to go there, and it's going to be the day before my birthday. So that's going to be my pitch. Be like, for my birthday, will you just take my card? Just take it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I've got 10. So
have a little copy of your comic open and just hand it to people and let them flip through it while you're talking to them.
Yeah, and I did get somewhere in this apocalyptic room the wire shelves, so that somebody said in a video to have things at eye level. So I'm gonna have the comics on a stand on one of those, and I'll probably have Anubis there. I don't know yet if I'm gonna get in trouble for having plushie Anubis. He's handmade, so I might be okay, but you're not allowed to have t-shirts at half of the places, so I don't know.
Really?
I'm an artist alley. Yeah, there are rules. They said no t-shirts, no hats, but you could have buttons, stickers, keychains. It didn't say no plushies, and it's handmade, so I'm just gonna bring it. And if worst comes to worst, I'll just put it behind the table. I only have like 5 of them anyway. And I'm gonna have 2 or 3 on my Kickstarter, and one's mine, of course. Of course. It doesn't scare me. He's gonna be my motif in my room. He's my mascot. So yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. It's in February. My first one.
Ronnie, where are you? Are you East Coast?
I'm East Coast, but right now I'm in Missouri, just visiting family. But yeah, I am definitely East Coast. I live in Florida.
In Florida.
That's East Coast? I mean, I was always East Coast and it was New York, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's all. Well, I always considered the Florida South. I've never heard it East Coast, but yeah.
Well, the time, we're the same time area, so.
I'm Eastern, yeah, Eastern time. I'm in Tennessee now.
You know, if you know what cons were out your way, but I'm sure there's a ton. There's a ton everywhere.
Oh yeah, you got Spooky Empire. You got a lot of cons that are dedicated to horror genre out here. Okay, like I think this past Spooky Empire, they had the whole cast of Reanimator there, so that was awesome.
Ooh,
Spooky Empire.
Yeah.
Laurie, I got to bail out. I got to go open the store.
All right. Thanks.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks, guys. Nice meeting y'all. Good luck to you guys. I'll talk to you soon, Laurie.
Okay.
Bye.
May 19th through the 21st is the Spooky Empire. Ooh, that looks good.
You know, I think it says like every single con in North America.
What does?
There's a website.
Yeah, I'll get with you soon.
I was like, there is a legitimate website. All it has is every single con in North America. So you can just look them up.
I think I have enough for next year. Actually, it won't be that. I think it won't be that bad because only 3 I have to travel to. So everything else is within 30 minutes. So I don't even have to get. Yeah, I don't even have to get hotels. I just have to get hotels for those 3.
I'm looking forward to doing travel though. I'm gonna get a car pretty soon. Need to get a car so I can travel. Charter does a lot of cons, which is I love about them, and we can all like kind of caravan together and just it's cool. Like they're a real nice close knit group that they all kind of go together. So I'm looking forward to doing that with them this year, and hitting all the cons and building that community as well. I haven't really done cons. I mean, we didn't even have a book published until July, so.
Yeah, my book was just published in November. Yeah, so. Well, the nice thing is now, if I ever want to go on vacation, it's tax deductible. I just go during the con. Like we're gonna go to Texas the following year. I told my husband, pick a place. We'll just go. It's tax deductible. So
right, it's like we just have to work during the weekend, and then we can have fun during the week. And then
we're gonna come see you in Texas the year after next. So. Well,
yes.
We'll get a table or whatever. My husband's going to go play with the big toys construction thing while I'm at the con, so it'll be great.
That's a thing. I know it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Go run construction equipment.
He's thrilled. Yeah, he wants to do the bulldozer and all that stuff, and you can only seat one, so I have no excuse to not go. So because it's like
have fun.
Yeah. That's perfect. It'll work out. I'll hang out with you and bother you all day, so it'll be good.
Dude, you're not gonna bother me. We're gonna have fun. It's like we're probably gonna get too much trouble, the 2 of us.
Yes, we will. Yep, it'll be awesome.
Ronnie, are you gonna come to Dallas for next? Do some
I'll definitely. I'll stop by. Yeah, well, why not?
Yay!
But yeah, definitely cons are something I want to do. It's just getting a group of people to help me, since I have to walk with a cane and can't carry too much. So yeah. That's always a hassle.
DJ says my plush Anubis sounds awesome. So I like DJ a lot.
Someone else said like strange stuff happens in Florida, man. It's like, oh yeah, there's a whole comic book series called Florida Man.
Yeah.
I learned why that. Well, Florida has a rule or a law that they send everything that happens to the news. So, like, they have full access to anything that's in the police blotter. So that's why everyone hears about Florida Man. Because we're always like, why is Florida so crazy?
Well, they have so many different cons. They had Anime Con, and I think they even have, like, a furry con out there in Florida.
Ooh.
They have a furry con?
Nice shirt. Yeah, they got a furry con in Florida. No lie.
Almost a couple days late.
That's a nice shirt.
It is a nice shirt.
Yeah.
Pretty. I like it. I saw the
Rocky and Zeus, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
I learned about furry cons years ago through CSI. I used to watch the original CSI and they did one.
Yeah.
That's how I learned about furries. And I was like, Don't die, Laurie.
Sorry.
We need you.
I was pretty much you were last Christmas. I had got COVID, so I understand.
I get sick every year. My husband yells at me like it's my fault. Like he's like every Christmas. But I own my own business, so I can't get sick during the year, and I think my body knows that. So it's like I'll just throw everything at you when Christmas comes when I take 12 days off. Because I'm pretty sure I had the stomach flu this past week, and a cold. Because the stomach flu doesn't have sinus issues, and sinus issue doesn't have stomach issues. So I just had both. But I appreciate my body for waiting till my work was done. So.
I think this is truly a thing because it happens to my mom every year because she works at church and she'll be perfectly healthy all the way through Christmas. And then like as soon as Christmas is over, she will get sick every year too. So it's the same thing where like, now that I'm done with all my craziness, I can finally relax and your body's like, oh, good. By the way, there's about 12 viruses waiting to take over.
Yeah, like my week before Christmas is the busiest all year round. Like I do double because not only do I take the week off following, but everyone wants everything done before Christmas. So I can't take off. I'm like nonstop. So I have to work. So my body's like, listen, I'll give this to you, but the hour you're done, you're almost dead. And I'm like, fair. That's fair.
Okay.
So,
no.
Yeah, my last day turned out to be half a day, and I was mad at first because I'm like, oh, I lost so and so amount of money, but I wound up being so sick. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy people get some. So I survived.
Like I made it up to Christmas and like did Christmas Eve, did Christmas morning for the kids, and then collapsed. I was like,
I bet.
I'm like, you guys opened all your presents. I cleaned up everything, and now I'm going to die. See you later. Took my COVID test. It came back positive. I'm like, I'll see you next Tuesday. I got my copy of First World. What's First World?
Yeah.
I don't know what First World is. Who was that? I can't see all the comments right now. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, Doc Bishop's comic. Ooh. Ronnie, how many comics are you doing? How many issues are you going to do in 2023? What's your guess?
I don't know. It's going to be hard. I definitely want to get like I said, this first story out of the way and get it in a physical book. That's the main project right there. Since the calendar's already done this year.
I know. People are like, you got more coming out this year? I'm like, in the next week? No.
No.
I would. I actually could have. I literally waited. I waited one because it's Christmas, and two, I was waiting for my plushie Anubis. So.
I'm still working on my Bones of Despair. I'm gonna let people see what it is. I was debating for a long time. I wanted it to kind of be a secret because it's kind of warped, but
warp's good.
I know, but it's so cool. I cannot not share it. It's really neat. So when it's done, it's going to be a sight to see. And I made an extra one, so some lucky person is getting one who didn't know, who didn't sign up for one. They're getting one. Surprise!
Awesome. I'm the type of person that buys Christmas. I can't buy presents and not give it to the person. It drives me crazy. I hate holding on to cool things.
I know. My husband and I are bad like that too. Usually every Christmas, we're like, I got a present for you. It's like 3 weeks in, before Christmas, right? And they're like, and I'm like, open it now.
I hate surprises unless I'm surprised with it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to know something's coming. I just want to be given it, and like a jump scare. And then when it comes to gifts for people, I just want to get it and give it to them. Like I don't want to wait at all.
I dropped the phone.
Is your arm tired?
Yeah.
My arms get tired finding a radio station.
I dropped the phone. Oh. I'm gonna need more meds soon.
Oh, I just realized that his comment's coming out twice. I'm like, who is this person that keeps saying the same thing as the other person?
No, it's Pops. It's like because it's on 2 different channels.
I just
so it's
saw
just
that.
whenever he comments, it pops up there twice.
I'm a little slow, you know. Can't help it.
Repeat. It's Pete and repeat. I'm gonna die. Anyway,
don't.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun on the show. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You're like, I want to say that before Laurie dies and everything goes black. No, I'm glad you all were able to make it. Ronnie is, we've been talking for a long time. So I was like, when are you going to come on my show? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, I should do that. I'm like,
well, the problem is most of the time I'm working during the day at the day job. So I don't get a chance to come on, but now I'm on medical leave. So it's like, I'm able to do it. So, why not?
Yeah. Same thing, Carissa. Like you're working during the day too, usually. So it's like,
I pretty much work Tuesday through Thursday. So it's like the worst. I have Mondays off and Fridays off, and I can barely get on here, but I'm going to try, like, I think every 4 weeks, every 8 weeks, I have a Wednesday off. I could switch my Tuesday to the Wednesday and then bother you and come on and say lots of things about nothing. I'm the best at saying nothing.
Hanging out and talking to people about whatever, anything, and it's like sometimes I'll have guests on and I'll do that. Like next week I have Chuck Dixon coming on, so I'm excited about that. He's a big deal.
Yeah.
He seems to be a guy. I've heard all good stuff about him, and his comics are amazing, so not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to that next week. Hopefully I'm not.
Paul says great. Yeah. Well, my co-writer had COVID for like 3 weeks. So, but she was like really out of it. She's got a very low immune system. And my husband had no taste or smell for like months. Like, I don't think it's fully recovered yet, which I won't tell to him. I loved it because I can cook bland food, but he didn't like it.
That's funny.
Oh, she froze again.
I'm actually surprised mine doesn't do that. I'm like in the basement. I used to plug it in.
Really over this. I don't like freezing every 5 minutes. And I know it's me because I know like you're not both freezing at the same time.
Right.
I said I still have my taste and smell, so I'm lucky.
That's good.
I had COVID in August, right when my brother, who took 7 years to get here, was coming up. So they came and I couldn't see them.
Oh man, that's bad.
He was supposed to come 2 years ago in April, and then March everything was shut down because of COVID for the first time. So he had to cancel the trip. So then he was coming up again, and then like the day before they were coming up, my husband and I tested positive for COVID, so they couldn't come at all. So they still came, and then they got COVID anyway. So like, hindsight's 2020. I would have been like, just come over, we'll give you COVID. Don't get it from strangers. Like, that's just wrong.
And Ronnie, you last year.
Yeah, I did. It didn't get rid of my taste or smell, but definitely with my movement disorder, it definitely slowed me down a lot. Even more with the muscle spasms and stuff. So yeah, it hit me hard last year.
Oof. How long did it recover?
Yeah.
It probably took me at least a month completely.
A month. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just like a few days. Like I think, and here's the crazy
Thanks,
thing.
DJ.
Yeah.
Thanks, DJ.
She's my new favorite person.
I know her. I told her I was going to come on the show, so she came by. Thank you.
Nice. Cool. Well, my COVID only lasted 3 days. My husband was out for 3 days. Like, I had a fever of 104, like almost 104, but I had like no other symptoms. Like, that was it. Just thought I was going to be burned alive or chilled to death. Like, either one. There was no in between for like 3 days straight. But that's it. No real coughing. No real anything. My husband was like he couldn't even function. He didn't eat for 3 days. Like, he didn't get out of bed for 3 days. And so yeah, but in a week we were fine. But his taste and I don't think it's even that much back yet because he has a lot more spice and stuff in his food than he did before, and he still doesn't really taste it. So, yeah.
I say I think it depends on when you caught COVID, because if it was earlier in 2020, it was probably a lot more potent. Than, you know what I mean? Because it's been mutating and it's been.
Yeah. What's the new one called? It had a mix.
I don't even know.
Wasn't it? There was Omicron, and then there was a mix. It was like Deltacron, Delta Omicron.
There was a mix, but I can't remember.
Gotten a Zetacron yet? I'm just curious.
Right, bunch of Transformer names.
Yeah, but it makes it sound more interesting. So it's like, you know,
what happens if you get to Z? Do we start over?
If you what? Oh. Yeah, I get you. Then it goes back to A and doubles, right?
We'll go to numbers.
I don't know.
The one cron.
Just make up stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
Can we name it? Can we like have a poll?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like how they have. I think it's Ohio where people can vote the names of their salt trucks.
Really? That's kind of cool though. I like traditions like that like, you know, don't make too much sense, but you're like, yeah, let's do it. Everyone gets together.
They're really funny too. I can't even remember them off the top of my head right now because whatever. But it's like some of them are like salty MFer. Like
That's funny.
Funny. It's like I want to name salt trucks.
The dump trucks used to have very clever names in the back. Or the hooker trucks. The hook trucks, yeah, they'd be like best hooker in town or something. Or
right.
I was like, that's interesting. Okay. So, yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dear CDC, I would like to suggest that we can start naming the different variants of COVID going forward.
Names matter. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Simpsons episode where they were changing jury duty to what was it? Superhero something? I forgot. Now I can't remember what it was.
Go?
Huh?
So people would actually want to go?
Yeah, it was. Right. We need you down at like the superheroes headquarters so that you can help fight justice. And they're like, oh, I want to do that. And it was like this whole thing. I was like, names matter. You know, got to have something cool.
Exactly.
Who wants to have COVID? You gotta come up with a better name.
Let us rename COVID, please.
Yeah. You got my vote.
Man. Well, guys, Pops, do you mind if we wrap up a little early so I can go get some medicine?
No, you gotta stay out here the whole time. No, of course. Look,
I'm fading.
I'm so proud of you that you even get up to do this when you're okay. Look, that's what I do. I get up and do it no matter what, right? I totally appreciate that you are willing to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I get it because you had set this show up. You had invited your friends out, and you weren't going to let them down, right?
Right. I wasn't going to be like, "Hey, guys."
Awesome. Yeah,
that's
Laurie.
I know you would all understand,
that same mindset that I have. You know, if somebody tells me their show's not going to happen, then I go into freak mode trying to figure out how we're going to cover that spot because
my show must go on.
Right? They expect something to be there during that time slot. So, you know, I get it. You want to be there. You want to honor what you say you're doing and make it happen. I love that about you, Lord. You rock.
Next week, people, Chuck Dixon will be here, and I will actually look like a human being and not drop my phone and sneeze on you.
Chuck Dixon and Laurie one-on-one next week, and I'll stay the hell out of that one, except maybe to say hi to Chuck because he's my friend. But,
yeah, he's like a cool guy.
Very nice guy.
Everybody that came out today, Carissa, my bestie, Ronnie, my bestie, bestie, you guys are all my besties, and I'm glad that you all got to meet each other because you're all good people and you could all be friends because we all move kind of like in the same circle and have the same mindset. So I look forward to seeing you guys.
Most definitely get them on my show. Follow them on Instagram. So yeah.
What the madness was about when we first started this way back when it was just a little Facebook group. It was about getting everybody to know each other and maybe getting some people to bounce off each other's fan bases and help everybody grow.
Yeah, it's about community networking.
Community and networking, absolutely.
It's all growing. Every platform we're on except Twitch. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there on Twitch, but I can't get no.
Actually, when I do my show, I'm live on YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah.
Do you get
all our shows?
Not a lot of people on Twitch.
Isn't Twitch gaming? Isn't that gaming?
Well, I mean, they like art over there. Art streams usually do good.
They have art streams. They have podcasts, all that stuff.
And we do it all, and we can't get no traction over there. So, I don't know. Also, talking to Chris and Max, we will be bringing back to Madness Gaming on a more regular basis on Fridays. Not sure what time yet, but what we're going to do is alternate the show. 1 week it's going to be the D&D group, the game Max running, and then alternate week is Chris is going to demo a game, a tabletop game. So we'll go back and forth. We'll play D&D 1 week and we'll demo a new game the next week so you guys can see what's out there for tabletop games, as well as we get to play. I want to play.
I know. I want to play too.
I get to not work. I want to play games. It's the only show I get to do that I don't have to work. So we're bringing it back. Okay, announcements over. CromCon Europe this weekend, all that stuff. You guys know what's going on. If you're in the UK, you want to hang out on Saturday, we will be live all day. The StreamYard link will be in the top of the chat. You'll be able to just pop in, pimp your stuff, man. I'll be out here at 7 a.m.
Wow.
7 a.m.
I'm up at 3 a.m. every day, so...
Well, I mean, I don't usually start streaming until 10 or 11, okay? Usually, but...
oh, yeah, I don't get out of bed, so you get full credit.
It'll be noon there.
I'm just there typing stuff.
It'll be noon in the UK when I kick off CromCon Europe, so it'll be afternoon, evening there as we do it. But here, it's going to be pretty early in the...
That's where my artist is, the UK.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, see, now tell him. Bring him out.
I will tell him.
On Saturday, bring him out so we can talk about your stuff. It gives us a reason to talk about your stuff at CromCon, you see?
Cross stream, too.
Paul says, don't die, Laurie.
Yeah. I know. It'll be fine.
Okay. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for coming out. Laurie, thank you.
Bye.
Feel better, Laurie.
And go check
out... Yes, feel better.
Comics de la Muerte, or Ronnie Gunter, Crimson Owl Comics, Carissa Grant, Redemption, Worthy Comics, all their stuff is...
or something.
Go check out Charter.
Yeah, go give Eventual Heart a read on Tapas and tell me what you think, people.
Yeah, go read her comics and then tell us what you think.
I'm gonna play some commercials on the way out of here, and 2 o'clock we have Hyde Hermit Art Studios will be out here doing his show. So check it out. Y'all have a great night.
I'll see you next week, unless I'm dead.
mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving it, so all you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. Rolling in and doing that work.
I'm Tanner Hurley, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network. Get some!
Bringing you sex, sass, and style. Buckle up and unlock your imagination for a fun adventure with these death-dealing dames. They sail the galaxy in search of spoils. The most dangerous acquisition, and the most fruitful, are the legendary Splinters of Yggdrasil. The Splinters are magical artifacts forged from the Tree of Life that wreak havoc on the universe. The missions are perilous, but the bounty is glorious. Enjoy our hyper-fictional wonderland. How is a pirate ship sailing through space? 'Cause magic. How do they heal so quickly after battle? 'Cause magic. How are they able to communicate through jewelry? 'Cause magic. It's all about the characters. Abbo, rough, robotic, ready. Mo, carefree, callous, courageous. Mistress Graven, daring, diplomatic, dominating. Betsy, academic, accountable, aristocratic. Nefara, ancient, assured, adrenaline junkie. Bruto, proud, prominent, protective. Fisty, independent, incendiary, invigorating. Roxy, superficial, scarred, secretive. Once you get to know this diverse crew of mythical miscreants, you'll be anxious to find out what trouble they'll get into on the next episode. Go to abogrizzly.com and order both halves of the first episode today.
America's southern border has become a war zone. Human traffickers, drug smugglers, and terrorists flow across the Rio Grande with impunity, secure in the knowledge that no one will stop them. A distant federal government lectures Americans on their privilege while punishing overworked Border Patrol agents who were helpless to stem the tidal wave of invaders and determined migrants. Second-generation Cuban-American Marcos Zamora is a military vet, more patriotic than most Americans. No longer able to ignore the chaos at his doorstep, he acts. Joined by his best friend Gus, they hit the border every night, saving lives while stopping violent drug cartels and other opportunists. The government reacts with fury at Marcos' attempts to preserve American sovereignty, deploying the full might of their enforcement agencies. But Marcos understands that the only thing the rich and powerful fear is bad publicity, and he records every encounter. Whoever he is, this private American must be stopped. Illustrated by Richard Bonk and written by Eisner winner Mike Barron, Private American is his version of Captain America, and maybe a little Punisher, taking part in this ongoing, violent, and very real battle of good versus evil in the war for American sovereignty. Grab your copy at theprivateamerican.com.
We have a secure border, and that is a priority for our administration.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands and brakes.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.